वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। सो गाइस, आज हम लोग डिस्कस करने वाले एक वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक जिसका नाम है वर्ल्ड वॉर 1। फुल हिस्ट्री ऑफ वर्ल्ड वॉर 1। मैं ये वीडियो इसलिए बना रहा हूँ कि पहला ग्लोबल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट था, इसकी वजह से वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 हुई। और एक और रीज़न कि एकदम डेविस्टेटिंग कॉन्फ्लिक्ट था, बहुत सारे लोग मरे एंड इट चेंज द कोर्स ऑफ ह्यूमैनिटी। सो आगे बढ़ने से पहले लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब माय चैनल। फर्स्टली हम अंडरस्टैंड करेंगे शुरू कैसे हुई। ना देयर वर मेनी मेजर रीजंस, बट सबसे मेजर एंड इम्पॉर्टेंट रीज़न वॉज सारी कंट्रीज के बाद खुद के एम्बिशंस थे एंड एवरी कंट्री वांटेड टू हैव मोर रिसोर्सेज, मोर लैंड। बट यूरोप में बहुत सीवियर कंपटीशन था, बहुत सारे एम्पायर्स एक दूसरे से लड़ रहे थे एंड ऑल वांटेड टू बिकम द नेक्स्ट सुपर पावर। बट इस रीज़न की वजह से सारे स्टेलमेट में अटके थे। वो एक दूसरे पर अटैक भी नहीं करना चाहते थे, बट दूसरों की गलतियों का यूज़ करके और पावरफुल बनना चाहते थे, इसलिए उन्होंने अलायंसेस बनाए। द ट्राईपार्टाइट ट्रीटी वॉज साइंड विद इटली, ऑस्ट्रिया हंगरी एंड जर्मनी। They wanted to act against the Russian and the French, which together formed the Entente with the British. These wanted to invade each other and win against them, but वो करना नहीं चाहते थे and they were in a stalemate. But the spark था to make all the countries start fighting was the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand, the heir to the Austrian throne. He was assassinated by a Serbian man who was angry that Austria took over Slavic lands and didn't give it to Serbia. This triggered the Austrians to give an ultimatum which wasn't acceptable to the Serbians, and they refused. And with the help, and they were backed by the German Empire, and together they declared war on Serbia. Now Serbia was a good friend of Russia because they were both Slavic countries, so Russia also pulled in war, and because of the Entente, France also was pulled in war. Now this was a complicated mess, and now we will discuss how the war was like. So it is the map of the World War 1. See, Serbia was this puny country here in the center of the map, and above were the Austro-Hungarians. They sent an ultimatum that backed by the Germans to the Serbians. Now Serbians were the friend of the Russians. The Russians declared war on Germany, and France was the ally of Russia, so France also declared war on Germany and Austria-Hungary. Bulgaria and Turkey later joined the Central Powers, and this became a very big scale war on a massive level. See, the Spanish, the Swiss, the Netherlands, Denmark, Norway and Sweden were against the war and they didn't want to join neither of the sides. So they called themselves the neutral powers. Now we will discuss how about the wars and the battles fought in World War 1. Germany wanted to win the war quickly and as fast as possible because they didn't want the British to intervene. So they came up with a great strategy, the Schlieffen Plan. They said that what if we invade through Belgium and the Netherlands, and if they do that, they can reach Paris faster than they can through the French border. The Schlieffen Plan was developed in 1905 and was put into execution during 1914 and the later years of war. They steamrolled to Belgium, but the Belgian people fought bravely, and because of that, because of attacking a neutral power, UK was angry and it intervened in war to the side of the Entente. The Schlieffen Plan didn't work. Basically, the French and the British halted the German invasion and dug up trenches. And in opposition, the Germans also dug up trenches, which now is called trench warfare. They basically made trenches and they will fight until one of the nations will take over the other countries trench. Because of this, the Schlieffen Plan, which would help the Germans win war in mere 1 year or some months, became a deadly, long-lasting battles because of the trench warfare scenario. One of the biggest battles in the whole war is the Battle of Verdun, fought in 1916 on this 16 December 1916 on 21 February till 16 December. It lasted from whole February to the end of December. This long was this Battle of Verdun. The Germans advanced in 1916 to in 15th of December and 26th of February. The first attack done by the Germans. On 21st February and 6th September, the Entente responded. These trenches were heavily fought over, and the battle lasted for many months, which showcases how hard was trench warfare for the soldiers of World War I. When we go on the eastern side, the Russians were collapsing because of many disastrous events, which can be discussed upon a whole video, which if you subscribe and comment, मैं आपके लिए ज़रूर लाऊंगा. Basically, the Russians revolted against the Tsar. They were Bolsheviks, which were hardline communists, the Mensheviks, which were socialists, the Republicans, and many other factions which fought against the then leader Tsar Nicholas II. And they basically stabilized the country so much that Germany was able to advance very quickly into Germany. Tsar needed to abdicate, and after he was abdicated, a republic was established, which also couldn't hold on. And here is a point of view of the Eastern Front. During the Eastern Front, many of the Russian territories were taken, and it was to be signed over a treaty. But the Republicans refused. Then the Republicans were overthrown during the November Revolution. And after that, the communists also fought for some time, but they needed to sign a treaty. They signed the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk, and they lost a lot of land, which most of it they were able to take again, but they could never return to their former glory. And for the rest of the war, the Germans will take a lot of Russian land in their control, and in hopes of glory and winning the war. This is a map that showcases the whole war during the 1916s. Although it shows Germany only had some land, a lot of the land of the Russians were under puppet regimes that were set up by the Germans. In the Western Front, we can also see how the Schlieffen Plan failed, as they were halted not even close to Paris. For some time though, they were very close, but they were repelled, and they failed to make any major offenses for some time. Bulgaria was doing excellent, as they have captured half of Serbia, Albania, and had also captured a lot of land from the Greeks. But the Ottomans faced very hard troubleships, as they weren't equipped, and they were also called the sick man of Europe, because how less they were modernized and didn't even have good equipment for the time. Even the Russians, which were collapsing, could take over a lot of Russian land. The British also destroyed the Ottoman Empire from the inside. During the 1960s, the Americans intervened in the war because of unrestricted submarine warfare that was implemented by the German Empire. A lot of American ships were sunk, but the final straw for the Americans was that the Germans telegraphed the Mexicans to invade USA, but the British managed to capture the telegram, and then they were sent it to USA, which angered them and made them join the war. There were many recruits which wanted to join the war for their homeland. Now During 1970, the event was called the Bloody April because the air power, the plane wasn't used for warfare as it was pretty new. It was only done for reconnaissance. But some years prior, the planes were equipped with machine guns which were timed so that they didn't destroy the propellers. Because of this, they were now be able to attach machine guns in the planes, which resulted in the first dog fights, which are term used to coin, which are term coined because they are used to describe a battle done in the air. Bloody April in 1970 was a showcase of how bad and how worse the dog fights done by the planes can get, and it was illustrated by James S. Coram and illustrated by Graham Turner. This book shows how badly the air power or the plane was used in the war during April 1970. At last, all of the Central Powers were defeated. Because of the help of the Americans, the Central Powers were defeated. First Bulgaria, then the Turkish, then the Ottomans, and finally the strongest member of the Central Powers, Germany, surrendered. In 1918 and 1917, the Treaty of Peace, which was called the Treaty of Versailles, was signed by the Germans, which reduced a lot of their land and destroyed a lot of the economy and limited their soldiers to just 100,000, which wasn't even what 1% of what the Germans had during World War One. The border just shrunk so much that the German people was very mad, and Austria-Hungary was dissolved into many states. Bulgaria was reduced, and the Ottoman Empire was carved and destroyed by the Entente. See, as you can see in this picture, all of Austria-Hungary was dissolved, and Serbia was increased with Balkan lands and formed the new Yugoslavia. Romania was expanded. Czechoslovakia was formed. Austria and Hungary was separated. Bulgaria surrendered in 1908 and lost most of their new holding. And Turkey was carved very much, but they reclaimed a lot of their land, and later in the years they took this piece of land present in Turkey from the Greeks and reclaimed it. The Germans, on the other hand, were humiliated. Their army was shrunken so much that it wasn't even 1%. Their land was taken, and Poland was given this Polish corridor, which included Danzig. The Poland was formed. Belarus, Ukraine, Lithuania, lands were shrunken so much they were humiliated, and they had to pay 8.6 billion euros, francs, and a type of currency to the Entente power because of destruction of the war. The Russians collapsed, and now they were the Russian Socialist Federal Soviet Republic, which was later returned into the USSR, or the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, including Belarus and Ukraine. The war ended with millions of casualties, and this was one of the deadliest wars. It caused the second war, which are even deadlier than the last. It was the first war to include dogfights with planes, and had many. And the first tanks were used by the British and the Germans. This war was the most deadliest war, so it will be remembered for a long time in history. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching, and like, share, subscribe my channel.